So, one of the issues that we often are troubleshooting with a lot of our students, especially those that are going back and forth between quarantine or remote learning, is that they don't know where to find their assignments and they're having issues seeing what it is they need to work on. So, as the teacher, what you can do to help your students and the parents at home trying to get their students on track is to structure your Google Classroom in a way that will make it easier for everyone to find those assignments. So, one way you can do that in your Google Classroom is to start directing your students to focus in on finding their classwork in the classwork tab. So instead of looking and scrolling through the stream, they need to look in the classwork tab. Okay, the next thing is you want to put that Zoom link right up at the top. So when you're creating your Zoom link or you post that Zoom link, you can drag and reorder it and put it right at the top. Another tip is not to push this as a material. So, for example, when you are creating this resource, create it as a material, not as an assignment. And then, if you normally put things under topics, select no topic. Anything that is not assigned to a topic will automatically be posted at the top. So if you have some older materials that weren't originally assigned to a topic, go ahead and change those and make sure that your Zoom link is at the top. That will help your students find your Zoom link very easily. Next, you want to make a topic that has the current week's assignments. So you can just go up to create and topic and call your topic whatever the current week is. And so then any assignments or any other materials that the students will be working on when you go in to make those assignments, just make sure you're placing them in that topic for the week. Okay. Another thing that is going to help is by adding due dates. That way it will show up in the students' to do section, which I'll talk about later. Click assign. Okay. And so now that test is right there for them in the week that they should currently be working on. Okay. Another topic and materials that you want to include are your classroom resources. So that might include your syllabus, your office hours, your guides for Google Classroom, just anything that would be really, really helpful or useful materials that your students might go to often. You want to put those just underneath the current week or the current 2 weeks resources. Okay. From there, you don't have to completely change everything else that you've done in Google Classroom. So if you have old work or old topics, you can leave them where they are and just kind of start with the dates. When this round is done for that week, you could move it to alternative topics. So let's say you have this test, you could create a topic called assessments. And so when this is done, you can just put it into either a new topic that you create or one of your existing topics, just depending on how you want to organize it for yourself. And that will just make it easier for you later on down the road. Okay, so we've talked about Zoom link right up at the top, classroom resources right there at the top, and then the current week assignment and topics just right there. So that way, when I'm looking as a student in my classwork, I don't have to scroll very far and I can find what I need to work on. Okay. Last tip is to make sure that the lesson titles that you're using in Google Classroom match what you are posting in Frontline. That makes it easier when the students are trying to match their grades and figure out which assignments go with what in Frontline. This is also helpful for parents that are connected to their child's Google Classroom if they're checking grades in frontline. So it just creates some consistency.